Hi, it's Celeste Majors, your canary in the coal mine. Today I'm having a canary experience. What I mean by that is that I went out to lunch with a friend yesterday, and there was something in what I ate that triggered a reaction in me. And in fact, I had gone out on Wednesday with a group that I belong to and had a lunch there that also triggered a reaction, but it was a much more minor reaction. The first time I went out on Wednesday, I felt a little tired, I felt a little disconnected, like I couldn't quite think straight. I woke up in the morning with my hands a little stiff and sore because I have rheumatoid arthritis. And so I couldn't quite bend my fingers as much as when I'm not eating stuff that doesn't agree with me. But yesterday, when I went out, once again, I thought I made the best selection on the menu. I chose one of their salads, and it looked like everything in there was either an ingredient that I can eat, or maybe I was going to be able to get away with it. There was a little bit of cheese on the salad, so that was a dairy product, and I don't normally do dairy products. So it's unclear to me exactly where I made my mistake. Another thing I did that I probably shouldn't have done was I had their lemonade. And I thought just as soon as I tasted it, oh my God, is this loaded up with sugar? But I hoped that the salad would balance off the amount of sugar in there and that I wouldn't have a huge blood spike up and then a huge crash afterward. So I went ahead and I ate it, and I felt okay while I was eating. And then a couple of hours later, I was sitting outside and I realized that I felt really weak. And it was almost hard for me to get up out of the chair. And I also felt sort of, I don't know how, some people call it brain fog. It's kind of a disconnected feeling in your head, like your thinking process isn't quite working right. And that's how I kind of felt for the rest of the day. And I hoped that's all that was going to happen. But it turned out that overnight I started to get a pretty severe migraine. And that's the symptom of all the different symptoms I get when I don't eat within the guidelines that work for me. That's the symptom I hate more than anything else. I don't like having joint pain, but it's not completely debilitating. Whereas when I get a migraine headache, it can almost wipe me out from being able to function at all. This one's about a medium level migraine. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 6. So I went to church this morning, and I can function a little bit. I know I can get some work done on my computer, but believe me, I'm not firing on all cylinders at this point. And in fact, I wanted to show you, if I take off my glasses, there's puffiness underneath my eyes, and my eyes don't look shiny and bright. I look kind of vague, and like I said, I have joint pain this morning. Not real severe, but the worst part of it is the headache. So here's what I want to say is, when you have autoimmune diseases, there are things in your food or the things you drink that you are having a reaction to. That's what sets off the inflammation, and the inflammation is the thing that you get symptoms from. If your joints are inflamed, you feel like there's the swelling and pain of arthritis. In my case, it must be the blood vessels in my head, or maybe even my brain is swollen up from the inflammation, and that's what hurts. Obviously, I hurt enough that under my skin, the puffiness around my eyes is showing up that wouldn't normally be there. So what I know now at this point is that yesterday, that was the thing that I ate that was outside of my normal range of what I eat. When I'm at home and I know exactly what I should be eating, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds, and if I make things, those are the only things I keep in the house. I don't even tempt myself, because I know that I have a tendency to be addicted to certain foods, so they just don't come into the house. So what I know was that yesterday in the morning and in the evening, I didn't eat anything that has triggered a reaction, because of that, I only keep things in the house that don't trigger reactions. So the suspect is what I had when I was at the restaurant. So now I can take and I can make a list of the ingredients that were in that salad. And I now know something interesting. It was one of those ingredients. Was it likely to be the iceberg lettuce? Probably not, you know. But there were other things in the salad, like some blue cheese or one of those kinds of cheeses that could have set me off. There was thinking what else was in the salad, but that's the kind of detective work that you need to do. And it's easiest if you limit your diet down by what they call an exclusion diet. So you take out all the 7 or 8 different major categories of things that trigger people's reactions, and you get your body all settled down, and then you can add back in those things one at a time, and you can feel the results. As long as your body is in a complete state of uproar all the time, you're not going to be able to figure this out. But if you get yourself to the point by minimizing what you're eating to only things that don't trigger a reaction, then you can tell something about what's triggering a reaction, and you'll know that for the future to avoid it. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm having, like I said, one of my canary experiences where I do something that other people can normally do, and I get a reaction, and other people don't, unless you have autoimmune conditions or other things where you have a hypersensitive immune system, and then you might be getting a reaction from some of these same things too. So that's what I wanted to say today, and I'm going to get better. I'll probably feel fine by tomorrow, and I live my life in a way where I avoid most of the time doing this to myself. I now recognize that I'm the one who's making the selections, and I can do something about not making those selections. So get well and stay well. Thanks.